Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis on Deutsche Bank. Now, the reason I'm doing this today is because we've recently had some incredibly exciting news regarding Germany. Now, if you're not from Europe, you might not know this, but Germany did have a political instrument that meant they could never have any more than 35% of the GDP into debts, and that has just this day, on the 18th of March 2025, been reversed. It has been annulled. And this is quite amazing since they have just voted that they're removing that. Plus, they're investing 500 billion euros into defense and infrastructure. This means concrete roads, hospitals, everything in that sector, which is quite interesting. And the reason I think this is going to explode, I recently just bought 1,000 stocks of this today. I bought 22,000 euros worth of Deutsche Bank. This is now my largest position because I simply believe in it so much. And the reason I believe in it so much, you might think, well, if they're gonna get debt, isn't that bad for the country? Nope. That means the country can get a lot of debt. What happens when they pump a lot of money into the economy? That means that people get more money in their hands, which means they buy more stuff, which means inflation goes up. Inflation goes up, interest rates go up. So it's a self-feeding cycle, which in the long term for banks, like bank stocks like this, is quite nice. Now, if we take a look at the Deutsche Bank at a larger time frame, we can see it has actually been performing quite nicely all the way out through 2023. And now, if we take it at a bit larger scale here, you can see it has been performing quite poorly recently, which is also a reason I think it is going to perform quite nicely in the future. As you can see, it is already trading a bit backwards, upwards to where it used to be. But yeah, as you can see here, it did used to trade all the way up at 84, which was back right before the financial crisis, once it traded all the way back to 12. And that is the reason why they made this debt break, as it's called in German, the Geldbremse, because they made so that they can never have too much debt, in this case they can't have that bad recession again. So very interesting at the moment. As you can see, the RSI is also trading very nice at the moment, very high. As you see, we did have this insanely nice breakout. So yeah, very nice stock at the moment. Now, in this analysis, I might gonna be a bit biased towards it as I have just bought it and it is my large position, but I really do believe in it. Now, if we take a look at the earnings, as you can see here, they are quite decent. It's a bank, and they never expect anything too crazy. We did see a quite bad second quarter of 2024. I don't remember the exact cause of this, but as you can see, it is down 146%, so that was quite poor. They actually lost money in this quarter instead of earning. And then besides that, they made money here in almost plus 1% and plus 7%. So, and then you can see this next one, it is up almost. The estimate here is 46.46 euros, and this estimate is 0.89. That is almost double. It is 0.03 below double. So that just means you can imagine how well it might be going. Now, dividends is quite poor at the moment. Their next dividend is here. As you can see, 0.8 euros, but again, it only costs 22 euros. So it's not, it is 22%, but I don't really like the dividend fact of banks because I think banks should be buying their own stock back just because of the way that the banking sector works. Now, as you can see quarterly here, we did have a quite bad quarter, and then annually, as you can see here, we did have some very bad years, but their margin has been increased. Of course, it did fall in 2024, but that was simply because of price increases now. And the German economy is just doing much better now, so I think it is going to be quite nice. And also, a thing you might not know about Germany if you're not a German citizen or a country close by, their infrastructure within the online banking is terrible. It is terrible. You still use a lot of paper, which is why I also think that that might happen soon. And I think Deutsche Bank is going to be leading that, given it is the largest bank, and therefore they have the incentive to do it the best. Now, as you can see, the seasonals here on the bank, I'm going to make this quite a lot bigger, just so you can see. As you can see, it has been performing horribly, horribly. And now I see this, as you can see, this year already up 36%. I see this as a year that it is gonna explode. So you can see many years it has been performing quite poorly. So yeah, I think it is going to be performing quite nicely this year just because I think Europe for Europeans is going to be much more prevalent. So I think it's going to be quite nice to see this explode. So yeah, I'm really big fan of it at the moment. As you can see, the technicals for the day it's a strong buy. You can see for the month it is still a strong buy. See, it barely changes. So for the month it is a strong buy. We see zero sell factors on the oscillators and the moving averages, which I have actually never seen before. Of course, we do have some neutrals ones, but it's mainly buy. Now for the analytics, it says -6%. This is completely crazy, if you ask me. I think the analysts who have made this just, I know that the past 2 years it has exploded quite a lot, but just the fact that the new political environment this is and the economic environment that Deutsche Bank is in, I think it is a strong buy, and I think it's gonna explode. Personally, I think within this year, I think it's gonna hit $37. That is my personal target for Deutsche Bank, and I think, which is of course quite a lot up from the current price point. It's about 71% up from now. But as you can see, we do have some strong sells and some sells, but I'm just surprised that there are not more. And as you can see, the average is actually below. I would like to see some more strong buys. Of course, as if you've seen my other videos, you know I do like to see when someone says a strong sell, because I do like more than one opinion, because I think one opinion is just too wrong. So if it was only strong sell, I wouldn't have bought into it, to be honest. Or maybe I would have, but I would have been a bit more worried about it, because if everybody says jump into this boat, maybe don't jump into that boat, because we just get an effect, and it might go up incredibly fast, but it might tumble below the and hit straight through the floor, and you sit there with a huge loss, which we sure shit don't want. So yeah, I'm not quite agreeing with the analyst rating here, but again, of course, as you might know, every analyst rating is subjective. Now that is my stance on Deutsche Bank. For me, it is a buy, buy, buy. I'm gonna be buying up in this all the way until maybe Donald Trump isn't president anymore. But yeah, who knows? Also because the new chancellor in Germany is a former lawyer. His name is Friedrich Merz. You can look him up, and he has an incredible track record. So very interesting stock at the moment. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.